Everyone over here, chalo, A plus graded chapter, ITC, right everyone? Let's go ahead and start with input, tax, credit. Everyone over here now. Let's go ahead and first of all take a quick linking. We started learning GST with goods or service. Goods or service has to be supplied. Supply can be either interstate supply or intrastate. Interstate supply. IGST, intrastate, CGST. Once GST is levied, GST has to be collected and paid by a taxable person. How will he collect and pay? He will calculate GST is equal to value of supply into rate of tax. Once you go ahead and calculate, you will go ahead and raise the tax invoice, credit note, debit note, and then you will maintain your accounts and records, and you will send the goods to the other person with the help of a e-way bill. Now, once you go ahead and send the goods to the other person with the help of a e-way bill, government says your liability to pay comes. Liability to pay comes at the time of supply. Now, supposingly you are liable to pay 1,000 rupees, when you are filing your return, you will go ahead and pay this amount. Correct or not? How will you go ahead and pay? You will go ahead and use your input tax credit, and the next chapter comes is input tax credit. Are we clear, everyone? For an example, you have 500 rupees ka input tax credit with you. The remaining amount, you will go ahead and make the payment and you will go ahead and file your return. Right, everyone? And here we are learning input tax credit, section number ITC is told in section number 16, section number 17, and section number 18. We are going to learn all the three sections. Section number 16 says eligibility and condition. Who is eligible and what are the conditions subject to which he is eligible. 17 talks about apportionment and block credit. Section number 18 goes ahead and talks about, sir, special circumstance when credit shall be allowed. Everyone over here, please come to section number 16 now. Before starting section number 16, input tax credit. What do you mean by inputs and what do you mean by tax and what do you mean by credit? Input tax credit. See, generally talking, input ka definition, input means only goods other than capital goods which are used in your business. But if you talk on a broader term from the chapter point of view, input can be goods also, input services, which are basically your services which you take in the course of your business, or in capital goods. Actually, input by definition means only goods other than capital goods. Means basically your inputs are goods other than capital goods. But when I say on a broader term, you get credit of input also, input service also, and capital goods also. So basically, input means goods other than capital goods, used or intended for use in the business. Input service means any service used or intended for use in the business. And capital goods means goods which are capitalized, used or intended for use in the business. And all the credit, government is telling all these inputs ka credit, we will go ahead and the GST which you have paid, remember the GST paid under forward charge or reverse charge, that is the CGST, SGST, IGST, UTGST and IGST on imports which you pay under Customs Act, will be given to you in your e-credit ledger. Inputs means input service, capital goods. Actually, inputs means only goods. The tax means the GST paid under forward charge or reverse charge. And credit means what, everyone? It will be credited in your e-credit ledger. Are we all 100% clear till here? Now we'll go ahead and talk about section number 16. Section number 16 ka name is, sir, section number 16(1) goes ahead and says, sir, a registered person will be, who is eligible, everyone? Registered person. Of what is he eligible? He is eligible to take the credit of goods, services or both used in his business, in his business, not his neighbor's business, his business. Okay, everyone? And the credit will be given to him in his e-credit ledger. Now we have the next one over here. Conditions for taking the credit. Section number 16(2) goes ahead and talks about the conditions for taking the credit. Earlier, if you guys remember, we had only 4 conditions which were there. I used to go ahead and talk about it as P, R, T, R condition. Sir, you should have the tax paying document. R for you should have received the goods services or both. Sir, again T for tax should be paid to the government, and R for return should be filed. Then over a period of time, government went ahead and added AA, and now the amendment is government added BA also. Let's go ahead and understand the condition. See, Baba, registered person will get the credit, but the credit is always subject to condition. Right, everyone? If you fulfill the condition, only then you can go ahead and take the credit. If you are taking the credit without going ahead and fulfilling the condition, then you are taking ITC, which is wrongly availed. Everyone, listen to me very carefully. There are two things which are there. One is ITC wrongly availed or claimed. Claimed and availed means the same thing. You claim your credit by filing your return. When you are filing your GSTR 3B, the amount of credit gets whatever credit you want. You go ahead and say, sir, this much is my credit, and the amount comes in your e-credit ledger. That is ITC availed or ITC claimed. Now, whatever credit comes in your e-credit ledger, if you use it to pay your output tax liability, that is ITC availed. Sorry, utilized. You got my feelings, no? But one is availed. Avail means filing of return and making the ITC reach your e-credit ledger. E-credit ledger ka ITC, when you use it, that is ITC utilized. You understood availed and utilized, everyone? Sure. Very important it is. Got it? Chalo. So when you file your GSTR 3B and you claim the credit, that is known as ITC availed. When you use it to pay your output tax liability, that is ITC utilized. Everyone over here, it says section number 16.2 says, Baba, okay, this has moved little this side. Okay, everyone over here now. Section number 16.2 says you should possess what, everyone? Tax invoice, including revised tax invoice, debit note, and such other tax paying document as may be prescribed in rule number 36. And rule number 36 says the various documents on the basis of which you can take the credit. And the various documents are which one, everyone? Birds. You should have, see over here, everyone, rule number 36 1 says you should have birds. What are the birds means, everyone? B for bill of entry, I for ISD invoice, R for RCM का केस में सेल्फ इनवॉइस, डी फॉर डेबिट नोट, and S for suppliers invoice. People, can you tell me what do you mean by birds, everyone? B for bill of entry, I for ISD invoice, R for RCM का केस में सेल्फ इनवॉइस, D for debit note, and S for suppliers invoice. Only on the basis of this you can take the credit. The next one is, always remember, see, document should have all the details. Only then you can take the credit. But supposingly your document which is there does not have all the details, can you not take the credit? The government went ahead and told you can take the credit on the basis of the document. And the document, if it has ITC, can be availed if the document contains what, everyone? Baba, birds ka basis pe you can take the credit, and that document on the basis of which you are taking the credit should at least have description, value, tax, GSTN number, or both. Both means supplier and recipient, and place of supply in case of interstate supply. Everyone, description, value, tax, GP. Description, value, tax, GP. What is description? Description is description, value, tax, GSTN number of supplier and recipient, and place of supply in case of interstate. People who are talking with me will 100% remember everything. People who are not talking, after some time you will sleep. Can I go ahead, everyone? Chalo, everyone over here now. Section number 16 to A may we are just reading rule number 36. Everyone over here. Rule number 36. The third point is, sir, supposingly officer went ahead and raised a demand order on me. Demand order on me under section number 74. I have done a fraud. So they are going ahead and telling no ITC of any tax paid in pursuance of demand order confirmed on account of fraud, willful misstatement, and suppression of fact. You were taking the goods and going on the way. You were caught by the officer. And officer went ahead and told you, everyone, officer went ahead and told you, Ramesh, I will go ahead and raise a demand order on you. Officer raised a demand order on me, 18% GST ka. Now what I went ahead and did, I went ahead and told the front party, hey, because of you, officer went ahead and charged me 18% GST. He gave me a demand order. Now 18% I'll recover from you. I'll give you a debit note. That debit note ka credit he will not be able to take. Always remember that tax which is paid because of a demand order confirmed on account of fraud, willful misstatement and suppression, the credit will not be available. The next one over here is no ITC shall be availed by the registered person with respect to invoice or debit note, the details of which are required to be furnished unless the details have been furnished by the supplier in GSTR 1 or using invoice furnishing facility. And Baba, it is appearing in your, and the details, Baba, these words were missing. Missing word, now put ITC in respect of. The line was not looking good. Earlier it was the details of such invoices and debit note. Now they are telling the details of ITC with respect to. ITC in respect of such invoice and debit note has been communicated in GSTR to be. Are we clear, everyone, people? Rule number 36.1, birds. Rule number 36.2, description value tax, GP. That is GP is GSTR number and place of supply. The third one, no ITC of any tax which is paid in pursuance of fraud, willful misstatement and suppression. People, I want you to talk with me. If you don't talk, I will also start talking less. You want me to talk, right? Chalo, start talking, everyone. And the last one, you can take the credit only if supplier has shown the invoices and debit note and the amounts are appearing in your GSTR 2B. Only then you can take the credit. Everyone over here now. Next, sir, section number 16.2 may AA was inserted. Why, you know? This point when it was inserted in rule. To rule may if you're inserting something, act has to give the power. So they wrote the same thing in the act also. Section number 16.2. Section number 16.2, AA they inserted and they gave the act ka backing to rule number 36 ka fourth point. They went in and told the details of such invoices or debit note referred in clause A has been furnished by the supplier and it has been communicated to the recipient in the manner told under section number 37, means it should be communicated to the recipient in GSTR 2B. The next point over here is you should have received the goods, services or both. Only then you can take the credit. Everyone, listen to me very carefully. I did not go ahead and receive the goods, services or both. My agent received it. I got the invoice, goods directly delivered to the agent. Can I take the credit? Yes. I got the invoice, goods directly delivered to the job worker. Can I take the credit? Yes, Baba. They are going ahead and telling bill to ship to model may. When the ultimate party receives, you can go ahead and take the credit. It is applicable for goods also. It is applicable for service also. Team receive ka concept will work. The next one over here is receipt of goods, services or both deemed received when goods, services supplied by the recipient, supplied to recipient on direction of a registered person, and such registered person can take the credit. Are we all clear till here? The next one over here is the details BA. Everyone listen to me very carefully. Now, government is going ahead and telling section number 38 in your returns chapter, I will talk about it more. Amendment, section number 38 has come. Government is telling Ramesh, now what will happen? Now what will happen is, whenever we are communicating in GSTR 2B, no, in 2B we'll make two parts. One part we will give the ITC which you can take, and one part of GSTR 2B we will give that ITC which is restricted. Are we clear? So now your 2B will have two parts. One will be the unrestricted ITC, which if you want, you can avail. Might be if something is personal, don't avail. Out of the eligible ITC, you can avail. But out of the ineligible ITC, means which is restricted, you will not be able to avail. And that is what they are going ahead and telling. Whenever you want to take ITC, you will not be able to take the ITC if the ITC has been restricted. And the law mate is written now that the details of ITC with respect to supply communicated to such registered person under section number 38 has not been restricted. It means if you want to take the ITC, the amount should not be restricted. If it is restricted credit, you will not be able to take the input tax credit. Are we all 100% clear? The next one over here is tax paid to government through cash or credit. Everyone, supplier should have paid the tax to the government. Only then you can take the credit. Yes or no? Tax paid to the government. Are we all clear till here? Now, earlier there was a concept of rule number 41 over here. Earlier, there was a concept of rule number 41 over here, which used to say that, sir, tax paid to the government, only then you can take the credit. But provisionally, you could take the credit. You remember, provisionally you could take the credit and later the credit will be finalized. But now, section number 41, they have gone ahead and told there is no provisional concept. You can take the credit final. Means whatever you tell, whatever invoices you have, you can take the credit. Whatever invoices you have, you can go ahead and take the credit. Now, if the supplier doesn't pay later to the government, whatever credit you have taken, you have to reverse it. That is now told in section number 41. Are we all clear till here? What they are going ahead and telling over here? See, section number 41 has been substituted. Now, section number 41 provides that a person shall be entitled to avail ITC as self-assessed in the return. Means whatever ITC I claim in the return, I can take it. And such amount shall be credited to his credit ledger on a final basis. Earlier, it used to be given on a provisional basis. And they used to say, later we will go ahead and check your GSTR1, his GSTR2, we will do the matching, etc. used to be there. But now GSTR2 is deleted only, omitted from the act only. And hence, there is no more concept of going ahead and taking it provisionally. Later, government will verify. All those things are not there only. Are you guys able to understand? And hence, they have amended the law and told it will be now given on a final basis. So, whatever credit I claim will always be given to me on a final basis. But if tax has not been paid by supplier, the credit avail shall be reversed along with interest. Whatever credit you have gone ahead and taken, you have to reverse along with interest. And it's later on again says, later on if supplier makes the payment to the government, whatever credit can be reavailed by the registered person. Are we clear, everyone? What are they telling over here? They are telling earlier we used to give credit on a provisional basis. Later we used to go ahead and verify whether the supplier has actually made the payment or not. Now they are going ahead and telling we will give you the credit on a final basis only. If later if you see supplier has not made the payment, you reverse it. When the supplier makes the payment to the government, you reavail it. Are we all clear till here? However, the reversal and reavailment shall be as may be prescribed by the government, because if you see over here, government will go ahead and prescribe, and as of now, government has not gone ahead and prescribed anything. Can we go ahead, everyone? But what is the law? You can take the credit. Means if you are going ahead and if you are fulfilling all the condition, you can go ahead and take the tax on a credit on a final basis. But if supplier does not pay it, then whatever credit you have taken, you have to reverse it along with interest. Everyone over here now. Listen, I went ahead and told you section number 16 to A, you should have the tax paying document. Then Baba I went ahead and told you what is A. He should have shown in GSTR1 and it should be reflecting in your GSTR. To B, only then you can go ahead and take the credit. Sir, you should have received the goods, services or both. Only then you can go ahead and take the credit. The next one over here, the details of ITC with respect to the said supply communicated to such registered person under section number 38 has not been restricted. The credit should not be showing in your restricted column in the GSTR to be only then you can take the credit. Number 4, the tax paid to the government through cash or credit utilization. Are we clear? Supplier should have paid the tax to the government through cash or credit utilization. He should have paid it by cash or he could have paid in credit. And number 4, if you want to take the credit, you should have filed the return. In the return, whatever you self-assess, that credit will be given to you. Are we all clear, everyone? Can you tell me what are the condition now? Tax paying document should be there. Number 2, sir, supplier should have gone ahead and shown in GSTR 1 and it should be coming in your GSTR to be, sir, then receipt of goods, services or both. Correct? Tax should not be restricted. Tax should be paid. And last one, you should have filed the return. Only then you can go ahead and take the credit. Are we all clear with this point? The next one over here is a proviso, which goes ahead and says, if you go ahead and receive the goods in installment or lots, you can take the credit of the invoice on the receipt of the last installment or last lot. Everyone over here, always remember, you should go ahead and make the payment to your supplier within 180 days. If you don't make the supplier to the payment within 180 days from the date of invoice, then whatever credit you had gone ahead and availed, you will have to go ahead and reverse. Are we clear, everyone? And you know what? Whatever credit you have availed, now section number 50, when we read section number 50 regarding interest, it says only if you have availed and utilized, then you will be liable to pay the interest at the rate of 18%. Are we clear, everyone? See over here, payment to the supplier should be made within 180 days from what? From the invoice. That is the value plus the tax. Both should be paid within how much time, everyone? 180 days from the date of invoice. Sir, from the date of invoice means the date of invoice you will leave, and from the next day you will start the calculation. If you don't pay, then whatever the ITC you had availed, actually it will be, you will have to go ahead and not add it to your output tax liability. You will actually go ahead and reverse it. You will go ahead and reverse it along with interest at the rate of 18% from the date of availing and utilizing. From the date of availing and utilizing the credit. Because interest will be always from the date of utilization. People, when we go ahead and read section number 50 of your interest calculation now, payment of taxes chapter, 1 minute, everyone. See, whenever ITC has been wrongly availed and utilized, then you will be liable to pay interest. Actually, here it is an amendment. You will have to make it 18%. Chart number 37. Are we clear with this? Can we go ahead, everyone? Are we clear with this point? Can we go ahead, everyone? Everyone over here, please come back. So, sir, you will be liable to pay what? If payment to supplier should be made within 180 days from the date of invoice, that is the value plus the tax, both. If not, then pay the ITC availed. That is, you will have to go ahead and reverse the credit which you have gone ahead and taken along with interest at the rate 18%, and interest will have to be paid. If you have availed and directly reversed, then there is no interest. Sir, I availed the credit, never used it. I never used it, then there will be no interest. But only if you use it to pay your output tax liability, that day your interest will start till the date you are going ahead and paying it back. So it says till the date the amount is added to the output tax liability is paid, means till the day you go ahead and reverse the credit and pay it back. Are we clear, everyone? Can we go ahead? Everyone over here now. It says registered person shall pay the amount equal to the ITC availed and Baba, whatever ITC is availed, you can reverse it if you have not utilized. Otherwise, you have to pay interest also, plus interest when you are filing the GSTR 3B for the tax period immediately following 180 days from the date of invoice. Are we all clear till here? I will go ahead and tell you for an example. Everyone listen to me very carefully. I went ahead for the month of January. I will tell you for the month of January on 20th of February. I went ahead and filed my GSTR 3B. Okay, there was an invoice which I received on 1st January. When did I receive the invoice? 1st January, 10 lakh rupees ka invoice, 2 lakh rupees GST. For an example, I am telling you, this 2 lakh rupees ka GST I availed also, and my output tax liability supposingly was 5 lakh rupees. I used 2 lakh rupees over here. When did I use it, everyone? 20th February only. Now, listen to me very carefully. You should make the invoice ka payment within 180 days. Can you tell me 180 days, everyone? Can you tell me 180 days, everyone? Sir, January, how many days? 31 minus 1 gone, 30 days January, February 28, March 31, April 30, May, how many days? 150 plus 30. So this is going to be Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June. 30th of June. So 30th June, your 180 days gets over. Do you all agree with me? 30th June, your 180 days gets over. Now listen to me very carefully. What they are going ahead and telling, now when you are going ahead and filing your return, sir, after June, actually if you read the law, it says interest while filing GSTR 3B for the tax period immediately following 180 days. Means 180 days gets over in June. जून मंथ का फॉलोइंग मंथ का जीएसटीआर 3B, जुलाई मंथ का जीएसटीआर 3B 20th August. Are you guys able to understand? But we will not go like that. We will go ahead and do it like this only, simple for exam point of view. That sir, if you read the actually the law, जून मंथ का फॉलोइंग मंथ का जीएसटीआर 3B, then जुलाई मंथ का जीएसटीआर 3B is 20th August. But actual meaning, what they mean over here is that when June gets over, the following GSTR 3B is what they mean. So, sir, if I go ahead and pay it, reverse it means when I'm going ahead and filing my GSTR 3B on 20th of July, means 180 days got over in June. Following GSTR 3B, when I reverse it, I will have to go ahead and pay how much? 2 lakh rupees plus 18%. From which date? Availment plus use also I did. From the day I availed and I used it till the date of reversal. Are we clear, everyone? So February, how many days? 8 days. Correct? No? 20 days में से 28 days में से 20 days gone, 8 days in February. March 31, April 30 days, May 31 days, June 30, July 20th को if I reverse it, then they are going ahead and telling how many days का interest? Huh? 150 days. Can you tell me 2 lakh into 18% into 150 days will be how much? Arey, okay, Baba. That feeling is our mutual only. How much? 7. Got it? Interest calculation, everyone. Can I go ahead? Now, everyone listen. It is from the date of availment and utilization. Think that I have availed also here only, utilized also here only. Then from here till the date, I go ahead and reverse it. Now tell me one thing. For an example, I availed on 20th February, but in the month of February, I did not have a liability only, or I don't use it only. I used it on the month of March. 20th March, when I was filing my return, if I use it, then interest will start from here. Is my point sharp clear to all? Can we go ahead, everyone? People watching at home, are we all 100% clear? Can we go ahead? Chalo, everyone over here now. I've gone ahead and told you in detail because I feel one small question they can go ahead and ask on this. Can we go ahead, everyone? Now, everyone, no reversal with respect to supplies on which tax is payable under RCM. Baba, RCM ka supply mein, since you are not going to pay the tax to the supplier anyways, government is telling, Ramesh, for the RCM supplies, even if you don't make the payment within 180 days, no problem. The next one over here is supplies without consideration, and on that part of value of supply which is made by the recipient, because that part anyways I'm not liable to pay to the supplier. Always remember, sir, if I have reversed the credit, now I made the payment to the supplier, can I take the credit back? Yes, there is no time limit to take the credit. People, did you guys get it? Is everyone 100% convinced till here? Chalo, the next one over here, sir, see, it says ITC can be taken again when the payment is made. No time limit to take the credit again. Section number 16(4) ka time limit is not applicable. The next one over here is, sir, if you go ahead and take ITC, don't take depreciation. Baba, 10,000 ka machine, 2,000 rupees GST paid. Either 2,000 ka take ITC or capitalize full 12,000 rupees. Means 10,000 ke saath, that 2,000 ITC also you capitalize and claim depreciation on the total amount. I hope everyone knows this point. If you claim depreciation of the tax component under Income Tax Act, you will not get any ITC. Now, section number 16(4), maximum time limit to claim ITC with respect to any invoice or debit note. What is the maximum time limit to take the credit? Supposingly, there is one invoice issued in 1 year, or might be invoice and debit note are not linked now. Invoice and debit note are separate. Invoice might be issued this year. For invoice, the time limit will be next year ka 30th November or annual return ka actual date, whichever is earlier. Invoice ke liye debit note is issued next year. Then Baba, this year ka next year will be the time limit for the debit note related credit to be taken. Are you guys able to understand this point? For an example, 2021 May, one invoice was issued. Then for that, the time limit to take the credit will be 2021 May it was issued to 21-22 May, the 30th November or actual date of annual return. Now, supposingly, invoice is 2021, but invoice related one debit note was issued next year, 21-22 May. Then for that debit note, the time limit will be next year ka 30th November or actual date of annual return, whichever is earlier. Is my point 100% clear to all? Can we go ahead, everyone? So it says over here, you can go ahead and take the credit with respect to invoice and debit note. Both are now not linked. Invoice ka time limit is 30th November or actual date of annual return next year ka. Debit note, the year debit note is received of that next year, 30th day of November or actual date of furnishing annual return, whichever is earlier. Are we all clear with this point, everyone? We are done with section number 16. Listen to me very carefully. In section number 16, number 1, the amendment came in rule number 36 ka second point, where there was a reference of GSTR2. Now GSTR2 deleted only. Government told supplier will file GSTR1. Recipient had to file purchase ka return. Inward supplies ka return. That is no more there. GSTR2 is no more there. So reference deleted. Then one small correction, ITC in respect of this point was not there. These letters were missing. So they have written that, sir, whenever he files GSTR1, the ITC in respect of that will come in your GSTR2B and you can take the credit. That's it. The details of ITC of such invoice have been communicated in GSTR2B. Only then you can take the credit. Next one more point inserted that, sir, you can take the credit only if that amount is not restricted. It says the details of ITC in respect of the said supply communicated, means whatever is communicated in GSTR 2B, it has not been restricted, because if it is appearing in the restricted column of GSTR 2B, then you will not be able to take the credit. The next one over here is, sir, section number 43A. Section number 43A has been deleted, and hence everyone, when section number 43A only has been deleted, reference also deleted. Everyone over here, it is telling that tax subject to the provision of 41 means you can take the credit, but that is subject to 41. And what is 41 telling? That, okay, whatever ITC you want, you claim in your return, you take it. But sir, if the supplier does not pay, then you have to reverse it along with interest. Are we clear, everyone? Can I go ahead? And later when the supplier pays, you can take the credit. Section number 16.4, maximum time limit, I have already told you. Then I have explained you rule number 37 also. Rule number 37 may reference of GSTR2 wherever it was there was deleted now. Now, in case of non-payment of value plus GST within 180 days, registered person shall pay ITC availed with interest. Interest will come when? If you have utilized it while furnishing GSTR 3B for the tax period immediately following the period of 180 days from the date of invoice, interest shall be 50 under section number 50, means interest from the date of utilization till the date of reversal, means till the date of paying it back, and subsequently if the payment is made, ITC can be re-availed. There is no time limit to avail the ITC. Section number 16.4, that 30th November or actual date of annual return, that time limit shall not be applicable. Are we all 100% clear till here? We are done with your section number 16. People, can you tell me section number 16 quickly? Section number 16, we went ahead and learned who is eligible. 16.1, registered person is eligible. Section number 16.2, condition to take the credit. T, tax in, you should have the tax paying document. R, TR, you remember first. Tax paying document, receipt of goods, services or both, tax paid to the government and return filed. Other than that, I went ahead and told you AA, the credit should be appearing in your GSTR 2A. 2B, only then you can go ahead and take the credit. And Baba, it should not be appearing in your restricted column. Basically, if it is coming in the restricted part, then you will not be able to take the credit. Are we clear, everyone? And then if goods received in lot, ITC on the receipt of the last lot. Sir, if you don't make the payment within 180 days, then Baba, whatever credit you had taken, and that has to be reversed. But if you utilized it, then interest also from the date of utilization till the date of reversal. And then we have section number 16.3, ITC taken, depreciation can't be taken. ITC not taken, then on the tax component, depreciation can be taken. The maximum time limit to take the credit is 30th November or actual date of annual return, whichever is earlier. Section number 16, a graded chart from exam point of view, 2 to 3 marks. They should go ahead and ask. I'll go ahead and close my discussion on section number 16.